Welcome to Gaia's Love, a podcast of brief messages to help humanity bridge the gap to the new earth. My name is Vivienne Gerard. It is my delight to be a scribe for consciousness today, sharing the wisdom that flows through from Source. Here we go. Episode 351. It is Friday. Here in Cincinnati, it's hot and sticky. We had a little rain rumble through with some thunder earlier, and now the skies are blue again. The sun is shining. It's going to be a hot weekend. There is so much in my mind that is like tumbling through really quickly. So I am going to stay as focused as possible with all the energy that is moving through me. Okay, so first, the title, I'm not even going to say first. It all ties together. There's no specific order, and I'm just going to trust how it flows. So I was listening to this song as I was getting ready, and it's so beautiful. I will put the link for it into the description. Please listen to it. It's just stunning. It's a 4-minute instrumental piece by East Forest, and it's called Limitations. And when I listen to it, the last thing I feel is limited. It's absolutely an opening, a portal. The image that it shows is it's just this, it's a portal image you'll see when you look at the image that shows on Spotify when it plays. It's beautiful. So Limitations is going to be the title for today's podcast, even though it's about absolutely breaking free of limitations and expanding outside of limitations. And it's coming on top of last week's podcast, which was titled Unfinished Symphonies. So to go from that to limitations feels contradictory. And also, that is the way of Zen, as I have learned from my Zen tarot deck that has taught me so much. The card title will say postponement or slowing down. And slowing down is true. Many of them say one thing, and then when you read the card, it's totally the opposite. It's completely, the contrast is the point of the experience. And so I use this title, Limitations, and I set the intention right here at the beginning of this journey we're going to take together, that this is about letting go of limitations, breaking through them, evolving beyond them, and then being able to rest on the other side of that experience and go, oh my God, look what I did. Look at how far I've come. Look at all the work that I've done. Like, whoa, I have barreled through all of those limitations one by one, and you are able to see that. You can feel the shift of what you have moved through. So, some examples may be helpful here. And maybe listen to the song either now or for sure when we're done, because it'll help you integrate all that I am sharing with you energetically and through these words. So let us go back to last week when I was so excited it was Friday and Hamilton was going to be released. Can we begin by defining how Hamilton has broken limitations of every measure? And how amazing the show was recorded. Who could have believed that a play, which on theater is about being in the actual energy field of those individuals and feeling the vibration live with them on a stage in front of you, to translate that in the way that they did into something just as impactful in video format, astounding. Absolutely astounding. Bravo to Lin-Manuel Miranda and his team. The close-ups, my daughter and I were watching it downstairs, and then my son joined us. Oh my gosh, we were sitting there, and Lin-Manuel Miranda's face is huge on this big TV screen that we have downstairs in Ryan's room. And it's massive. And we're seeing all of the expression. We're watching the king literally spray with all of the spit from his mouth because he's so into his character. I mean, it was extraordinary. Extraordinary. So we begin with that example. If you would like to look at an example of limitations being absolutely dissolved, read the story of how Hamilton came into existence through the creative expression of Lin-Manuel Miranda. The story is just beyond words. So good. So good. So there's the first. So Friday night, I watched that. Wow. Saturday morning, I finally decided it was time to upgrade my phone. I have been using an iPhone 6 for quite a while. It's been perfect. I've loved it. There's been no problems. I've felt no need to upgrade. Everything has worked well. I like the size of the phone. It's recorded tons of podcasts and meditations and tons of sessions with clients. Like, this has been a very productive phone for me. So all was well until the speaker stopped working and my voice was getting muffled and there were all kinds of other little things that were starting to glitch. So, and I was full. My capacity on my phone was full. And I tried deleting as much as I could, and I didn't want to delete the photos that are on there. So it became time to create it as a storage device. It's a very expensive, thumb drive. So we upgraded my phone to an iPhone 8 Plus, which we had it because of a whole long story. And also, I didn't want a bigger phone. I mean, it's physically much bigger. It's a larger size, and I liked the little size of my phone that I could hold in my hand. And so I spent most of Saturday, 4 or 5 hours, going through all of the steps, determined to do it by myself, not needing anyone's assistance, even though I had multiple offers to help. I was determined to do it by myself, and I did. My learning curve was steep. It took a while, but I finally upgraded myself, and I broke through all my own limitations that I'm not technically savvy enough to do it, and I did it. Totally did it, except for my contacts, which has been perfect because I've been entering them one by one into the old contacts that, well, whatever. It was a journey, but I broke through that limitation. So I have been getting adjusted over the past 4 or 5 days, 5 days, 6 days, I don't know, to holding a bigger phone, transferring things that weren't quite correct, redoing my apps. You have to log into everything, with all the frustrations that come along with switching a phone. And so today I land here. I'm holding this bigger phone in my hand, which it's really heavier and bigger. So I'm going to probably be switching hands a little more often, which maybe is an invitation to me to record these in a different way. But I really enjoy using the iPhone as a way to do it. And my process works well. And sometimes I don't want to change the process. If it's going well, why change it? Point is, I upgraded my phone. And that is an energetic statement also, going from a 6 to an 8. It's a vibrational shift, right? When we expand our energy and then we match it with our technology, things are going to expand. You're going to feel ripples in your world, and it's just different. So it sounds funny to connect it to a phone, but it's the truth. Anyone who has upgraded their phones will tell you each upgrade, something shifted in your life and it just became bigger. For me, the camera, oh my gosh, the pictures are so much better. The pictures are so beautiful. When I'm finding those, I forget I've got to clean off the lens because the pictures look blurry, and then I clean off the lens and oh my gosh, crisp, sharp gorgeousness. So that was Saturday. You're getting a whole play-by-play here, but these are literally just examples for you on everyday limitations that we can break through, which immediately expand other things in our adventures here on Earth. So, next example, The Matrix, which you would have thought I'd watched by now. I had never watched it before. Apparently, I remember people talking about this with me 10 years ago. Is it that old? I don't know. 9 years ago, 8 years ago? It's been a long time. People have been talking about this movie, and I've just never felt called to watch it. And so I had mentioned to my best friend, let's watch this together. And so she came over on Saturday night, and we sat downstairs with the big TV screen again. And it blew our minds, both of us. It blew our minds. So for me, if you haven't yet seen it, I encourage you to watch it because it will offer you a different perspective about this human journey and what we experience on Earth. I don't necessarily agree with everything that they show. I certainly don't agree with some of the illustrations of how it's all set up. I don't agree with that at all. But we all have our own views of how this works here on Earth. And what I like is the way they gave the power to the individual to choose how they want to awaken or if they want to stay asleep. And then the illustrations of trying to show visually what is energy or expression of thought that isn't physical. They created a way to show it as physical, and that was extraordinary. So how does this connect to limitations? I believe The Matrix is a movie, a story designed to break the limitations of how we understand this human realm. And it's one way to break a limitation. The scene that is most relevant, so if you haven't watched a movie, fast forward for a minute or two so you don't have to hear me describe this. But the scene that was most relevant to me is when the main character finally breaks his own limitations of his abilities or his skills. When he's standing right in front of the door and he has realized, he has fully actualized as himself, the full expression of himself, and the bullets are all coming towards him, and he puts his hand out and he stops the bullets. And then he looks at each one and drops it to the ground. There's an amazing parallel to that with Lin-Manuel Miranda's illustration of it in Hamilton, how everything slows down and time becomes still, and then there's this realization of choice. The choice to allow the bullet to enter the body and end the journey, where in The Matrix, the bullet, he chooses not to do that. He chooses to see the bullet, stop it, and then he goes towards those who were shooting the bullets, right? He runs towards them, jumps into their energy and dissolves them because they're not real, because it was a creation that he bought into or that he invested in that created the reality around him. He completely shattered the limitation of what he had been experiencing. Whether you've seen the movie or not, you just received the whole energy of it. But I would still encourage you to watch it because it's very fascinating how they do it. But you just got the whole point. So there was that on Saturday night. On Sunday, was that just Sunday? On Sunday, I had my Sunday meditation call. And the card that I pulled for our intention grid for that space was a card that is titled A Vision Quest, or The Vision Quest, from one of my card decks that I own. And the image is of this individual standing firm on the ground. Well, actually, when I looked at it later, they were on one foot with one foot up in the air. But their heart chakra is wide open to the sky, and their third eye is literally gazing straight up into the heavens. And in the Sunday meditation call, I guide a process of allowing each of us to activate the third eye in a more powerful way, and then connect with our infinite soul on the other side of this thought form of Earth out in the universe, to be connected soul outside of Earth to the soul that's here in this human body, and have a communication flow, which to me is a vision quest, third eye vision, questing with ourselves. It was so profound and so beautiful, and I could feel the importance of it. So on Monday morning, because what is time anymore? What is time? What is a calendar? Right? Like, time is just in its own dissolving of a experience. So Monday, I have been playing with this idea and finding every limitation possible why I shouldn't do it, to start promoting and sharing my guided meditations on larger platforms. So sending them to iTunes and Amazon and Spotify as an item for people to purchase or to put into the streaming platforms that people use. And so I've been thinking about it for a couple weeks and talking to my friend Teresa about it. And yeah, maybe, but there's all these reasons why it won't work. Don't think I should do it. And she's just steady next to me, like, yeah, it's fine, whatever. But, prodding a little bit and encouraging me a little more. So Monday I woke up and realized this vision quest is a perfect guided meditation to send out as my first submission of energy into this arena, this bigger arena. Even though it's a recorded phone voice thing. It's not polished, it's not perfect. I make a lot of mistakes as I'm talking, but the energy in it is so powerful, and the process is a way to break through limitations. So, of course, I have my call with Teresa on Monday and commit to creating this first single and getting it prepared and out, and then all these other steps I'm going to do after that. And so that's what I did. On Monday and Tuesday, mostly Tuesday, I launched my first single, and it's in the inspection queue in the process with CD Baby, getting ready. I love seeing it as a little baby in an inspection queue. How do you inspect a vibration like that? It's an hour recording. I don't have to actually even listen to it, but it's so funny to picture it just do moving through a little digital queue, and then there's this thing called a vision quest guided meditation. Like, what? So that was Monday, Tuesday, and then the other thing I committed to doing in between work and family was to clean up my website, to absolutely streamline my foundation of my business. And my foundation of my business is all through my virtual portal online, because that's how people find me. That's how I do all of my exchanging, all of my products. Everything I share is through my website. And there are areas I'm in often, every day, making changes or updating or creating new content. And then there are others I haven't touched in 4 or 5 years since I started building the website. And so I spent many hours going through every single page and streamlining it, creating a consistent branding look through all of it, tidying up things that aren't accurate, finding links that weren't working, cleaning up my foundational virtual home. I finished that last night. And then I went out for nachos and a beer with my husband. The only section I have left is the next project on my list, and this is my biggest limitation I'm breaking through. I'm naming all of these for examples for you so that you can find your matches, and an encouragement for you so you can break through your limitations also. And then accountability for myself by voicing it, by claiming it in this space. This is my next limitation I'm breaking through. And encouraging you to do the same. If you have a limitation you absolutely want to name, you're like, this is the thing that I'm barreling through this one. I encourage you, send me an email, name it, or put it in the Soulshine Tribe on Facebook and state it. Share it on Instagram, where I put the image of the podcast. Put something about what you're breaking through there. YouTube, make a comment. However you listen to this, if you have a match, get visible with me and claim it and put the energy out so that others can witness and support you, just as you all are witnessing and supporting me as I share this with you. It's all energetically webbed together. And if you really, really want to break through the limitation, name it. Just like I'm about to do to you, with you, because I'm like, shit. The only section on my website that I have not polished, streamlined, cleaned up is the Gaia's Love Festival section, because that's the point of all of this work that I'm doing right now. Everything that I am breaking through and clearing and the limitations I am dissolving are to help me laser focus on the next festival. And the next festival is Denmark. And my intention is it happens soon, like in a few months or soon, which means there's a whole bunch of work for me to do. And there's a whole bunch of stuff that's going to have to happen in the collective energy to allow Denmark to open up its borders so that Americans can come to visit, for me to get all the details together. I mean, listen to me creating all the reasons. Can you hear how the mind instantly goes, you can't do that, it's not going to happen, and it just, right, it pops all the things. It gives you all the reasons why you can't do that. So, and also feel the intensity of the energy, right? This is where I'm being propelled towards, and the momentum underneath my feet is so strong. The current is so strong. It's carrying me. I feel how that's where I'm going. And I can resist. I can swim backwards upstream. I can turn my back on it, and it doesn't really matter, because that's where my soul is taking me. And I'm excited and also terrified at the same time, for so many reasons. So let me give you this example of how our subconscious is constantly trying to help us out, right? I had this dream last night. It was awful, and it just kept going. And I was so emotionally invested in this dream. And when I woke up, I was having a hard time getting out of it. I was at some retreat place or something. It wasn't Denmark. I was somewhere, and I was supposed to be guiding a meditation at 5:00. And in the dream, I knew it was 5:00 that I'd have to be there, and I thought I had all this time. And so I was kind of wandering around and seeing friends and family and saying hi to people and doing stuff, and the whole time fully aware that it was getting closer to 5:00, and I was doing nothing to actually, go to my room and get dressed and brush my teeth and, go prepare for the meditation and get my crystals. Wasn't doing any of that in the dream. I think I was actually eating popcorn. I remember caramel popcorn and chocolate covered popcorn, and telling everyone how delicious it was. I was just enjoying what was happening. And then all of a sudden, I realized it was 5 till 5, and I was nowhere near my room, and I had not brushed my teeth yet, which is sort of a big deal for me. I really like to have my teeth brushed before I speak. It's like a clearing of the energy in my mouth. So I wasn't near my room. I started making my way towards my room, and the door was locked. Then I'm on this elevator that's going up, and the elevator is like super squished. And I mean, all these meanings, if you are into dreams and symbolism, there's so much to unpackage in this one little dream I share here with you. And I've been unpackaging, and I know there's even more for me to become aware of, but I'm sharing it because it feels relevant. And so I get to the top, and not the top, I get to the floor that's my floor, and I don't even have a key to the room. Someone else has to unlock the door, but they can't find the key. So I'm in the room next door where these young people are saying, hey, hang out with us, it's all okay. And I realize it's like 3 minutes till 5, and I start crying. In my dream, I'm crying. I'm hysterically crying about how I'm going to miss the 5:00 deadline. I'm supposed to be there, and there are people waiting for me, and crying, and they're all just looking at me like, what's wrong with you? Why are you so stressed out? And then as I'm crying, I just feel, the only word I have for it is grace. I just felt this grace, this peacefulness move through me. All of this grace, and just these words, or this knowing, like, just move the meditation back 15 minutes or half an hour. What's the big deal? Why are you so stressed out? And I look up, and I'm looking around at these young people that are trying to get me into my room, and I'm so messed up I can't even see that they're trying to help me. And I just look at them, I'm like, I need to tell everyone that we're going to start later. How funny. right? That my mind had created this massive limitation, and a little shift in perspective changed everything. So of course I wake up and I'm laying there trying to decipher the dream and figure out what it means, and then tell myself I need to just stop worrying about time and let go of deadlines, and none of that actually matters, and it's all flowing exactly as it's meant to be, and the point is to enjoy the journey. Right? So that was last night. And now here I sit in this space with you, sharing all of these stories about my week. And what I feel mostly is excitement. The messages that have been coming through to me, I watch several videos, as I've shared here often, that are tarot card reading messages. And the two individuals that I watched this week, I've been trying to limit how much I'm bringing in because my mind just starts to get confused, and there's so many messages and I'm trying to decipher them. But there were two this week, back to back, that had the exact same message. And now my mind is like, what was that again? What was the message? Oh my God, that's hysterical. Oh, okay. The one for sure was, you already know. You already know, and it can be very scary to let go of what is familiar and step into what you know is arriving next. And also, you can't, the one woman literally said, you can't F it up. You just can't. You cannot mess this up, because whatever you choose, it's already unfolding. It's already being guided. You're already moving towards it. Like you can't make a mistake, right? Which is liberating to hear. You can't get it wrong. How many times has Esther Hicks said this to us in all of her audios? You can't get it wrong, and you're never late. You're never going to miss the deadline. There's just going to be another avenue that presents itself. So in my meditation time this morning, when I was sitting thinking about the podcast and wondering, what do I even share and what's relevant? Same thing I do every week, what do I have to talk about? And then I sit down, it's like, la di la la, there's all this stuff. I had this memory of, well, here's the image that may help you. I believe we are all guided towards experiences in our human journey that our soul absolutely does not want us to miss, or that are the highest evolution opportunities, or the experiences that will bring us the greatest joy, and our soul wants to make sure that we get those experiences. And so Esther Hicks often talks about life and energy and journeys in the description of GPS systems. And she'll say, when you have a destination in your GPS, if you make a wrong turn, your GPS will reroute you. And so you can just keep making wrong turns and it'll just keep rerouting you. The GPS is only focused on where is it you're trying to get to. And I feel that for our souls, right? Our souls know this is the next big experience that you came here to have. And so we're going to lock in on that experience. And then whatever you choose along the way, because you have free will and you can choose what you want to choose. And that's the point of being in a human journey, one of the many points. You can just keep rerouting, but eventually we're going to get you to that experience that you want to have. And it may look different. It may have different partners or components, but the experience, the feeling, the learning, the vibration you will have at that moment is going to be what you came here to claim for yourself. So I was thinking about that for this idea of limitations. When we know that we are moving towards a specific experience, and that's our GPS destination, it doesn't really matter how many wrong turns we're going to take. It doesn't matter how many limitations we create for ourselves and have to move through. If that's what we're claiming, we're going to get there. We're going to get there because it's absolutely what we want to do while we're in the human body. So I was thinking about this time maybe 2 years ago, where my husband and I were going to get our taxes done with this woman who helps us, but she's on the other side of town. And so we finished right at rush hour, and it started raining, and we had both of our cars because we met there. And so I said to my husband, well, follow me home, because he doesn't really love navigating, and he sometimes gets confused on directions. And so he said, sure, I'll follow you. And he's just going to, make his phone calls or do whatever while he followed me around, literally around, because there was an accident in the most direct, easy way home. And so I decided to follow GPS, and it kept rerouting me. And so I'm in my SUV, he's got this big truck, and we're trying to turn around in rush hour traffic on these roads, and it's rainy. And I'm getting more and more frustrated, because the GPS is taking me away I don't know, and I usually know where I'm going. I didn't know where I was going. So at one point, I just pulled over, and it's pouring rain, and I hop out of the car. I go to his window. He's like, what? I'm like, I don't know what's happening. I don't understand. Why can't we get home? Why are we going through all these different roads? And he's like, just quit following GPS. You know how to get home. Like, turn it off and just trust yourself and go where you need to go. He's like, and relax. Relax a little, right? My husband, who is a saint at times, because I get all twisted up into energy crazy, and he's just all calm and chill and happy. So that's what we did. I started to chill. I went the way I knew. It took us forever to get home, like probably twice as long as if I had just gone the way of the accident. But it was such an important lesson for me that I now can access years later, right? So I'm avoiding claiming my destination. Okay, so here we go. I'm going to claim it, and then I invite you to also claim whatever it is that you are resisting, and let's break through these limitations together. So last year, almost exactly 1 year ago, I hosted my first Gaia's Love Festival. The festivals are a direct creation that flowed from my book, One Day Gaia's Gifts. And in the book, I named specific places around our planet where I believe energy vortexes are sitting waiting for us as a humanity to open. And each of the chapters in the book is about that specific location, told through the lens, the filter of my soul tribe. And my soul tribe are souls who are here in human bodies, and we have been in and out of Earth many times. many times. And so in those adventures in and out of Earth at different times, we have selected specific places where the energy would serve to be opened at a specific time in the future or in the past. And that time is now, and it began last year, and it's going to continue for the next few years. I've known that this is a portal? No, that's not quite the right words. Let me see how to say this. The information I shared in the book is so high vibrational, so pure, that's the word. The information in the book is so pure that it's not always understandable or translatable fully until the energy field opens for that purity to be seen. And that is what we have been moving through for the last couple of years. That is what we have specifically been moving through in the first half of this year. And we are entering this time where the vibrational field of Earth it's higher, it's clearer. More are able to see through the illusions, like in the Matrix, more able to see the truth and see reality through a new lens. And so the energy vortexes are more accessible for more people. Yeah. I don't even know if I said that in a way that makes sense, but I trust the vibration is coming through. So last year when I hosted the first festival, it was for chapter 14, which is my story, my chapter, and it was here at my home, and it was beautiful. There were some incredible photos and videos and stories that have just been sitting wrapped up in my computer and my website, waiting for when it was time to share them in the way that I wanted to. And so that is my assignment for myself for next week, is to create those videos and begin sharing my experience of the festivals, and then specifically of last year's festival. The next one is Denmark, which is actually where my grandfather, his family comes from. And this week there was a beautiful story that my new friend Janie in Australia shared in Instagram about how my book reached Australia, which is where my grandmother's family comes from. And so there is a lot of energy alignment that is happening unseen, that is preparing the pathway for me to arrive in Denmark and have this experience of the festival. And I can see all of it, and it's difficult to translate it, and I get caught up in the no one will understand story that I have told myself for a long time. And I can feel how that limitation is dissolving. People do understand. They do feel the energy, and they are excited to participate with me in this adventure. And it's about me allowing that to happen, me opening up for others to meet me in this amazing energy field, the purity of what's being created, and all of it is arriving. And so this limitation I've had of it's always going to be me trying to decipher and translate energy and no one gets it, that's bullshit. That's an old story. It's a limitation I am naming and dissolving. Dissolving, because it's no longer true. So there's so much energy in my body, literally, like my whole body is vibrating. So and that's what happens when we name truth, right? Truth resonates, and especially when it's soul truth, when it's deep truth, when it's truth you've known for a long time and you just haven't allowed it the light of day or the expression through your voice, like your body feels that truth. Okay, so what would I say to you next? This week was about opening the pathway for more people to tune into my vibration, for more people to access the work that I do, for my messages to be broadcast at a wider and bigger level. Because all of that is preparation for me to be ready to hold the space of the festival that is going to be in Denmark. The festival is going to be different at each place. Here in my front yard, it was a festival of dance and celebration and art and music and magic. The festival in Denmark is going to be intimate. It's about sitting on the ground, connecting in with the dancing lights, which I showed a video on my Instagram account yesterday. God, was that just yesterday? The day before, it started raining, and I was about to go outside and grill some steaks for my husband and I. And there was a rainstorm, but the sun was coming in, and I took a quick 8 second, of course, right, video. And all of these little lights were just dancing around. In the video, you can see them. It's sparkles of light. The chapter, the story that I share about Denmark is about dancing lights. It's about the unseen support, the angels, the energies that are constantly working with us as a humanity to help us break our limitations. And I caught it on video what the dancing lights look like here in my house, in my front yard, in my backyard. All of the unseen beings who are constantly surrounding me in this journey now, here in this expression of this portal of my home where we had the first festival. I caught it on camera. I was so excited. I was so excited to be able to share it. And so I posted that video. And then I could feel like those are the energies that are guiding the pathway for me to arrive in Denmark, because that's where they want to go next. We opened the portal here at my front home and we're going to Denmark. And so those energies are dancing, guiding the way forward. And I could show it. There was a physical way to illustrate it. I mean, it was amazing. It was amazing. So the next story that will be shared when we're in Denmark will be in the woods, a tiny little clearing in the woods that we're going to sit and have a picnic, and we're going to talk and share stories about when we knew magic was happening as children and adults told us it wasn't, but we knew that it was. And we're going to share and laugh and celebrate life, but in this really grounded, intimate way. It's totally different than the vibration of the first festival. And also we're going to capture it on film, and then I'll share that, and it's going to be broadcast so that more people can watch it and then find their own way to the woods in Denmark and have their own intimate experiences of sharing. It's this pathway, my friend called it a pilgrimage, and that feels so true. It's this pilgrimage of my soul here on this planet, in the way that I honor our planet, in the way that I honor this human journey, this human realm, in the way that I honor Source, bringing all of it together in these incredible events that I call festivals. And so it's the next GPS destination for my soul, and everything is aligning for me to have that experience. So I need to relax, right? I need to let go of all the limitations that my mind wants to pop up as to why it can't happen. I need to allow the borders to open and the airplanes to be clean and COVID to solve itself. I need all these things to magically come into harmony so that I can arrive at my destination with the greatest ease and the greatest joy, and then be able to share it with you. So that's that about limitations. That's that. I'm like dusting my hands off. I encourage you, share what it is you're going to dissolve with me. Share your limitations and then commit to dissolving them. And let's start doing this more as a community. I love that I broadcast my voice and my messages out. What I love more is when you all come back and say, oh, look, yes, me too. And you're not alone. And I'm doing that with you. And let's do this as a community in all of these spaces I have open for you to engage with me in a community format. Let's start playing more in a physical, real way with each other, even if it's through social media. And let's dissolve these limitations, because there is so much energy and support for us that is unseen, wanting to become seen. 100%. 100 million%. Okay, I have to go. I've got to get ready for our energy gym. We have a call in 15 minutes. I send you off into your weekend with so much love. I invite you to join me on Sunday for our meditation. If that resonates, let's keep moving through these blocks. We're actually having an energy gym tomorrow, Saturday at 10 a.m. So if you are really wanting to break through your limitations and you want to be seen on video, eye to eye with me, I invite you. I want to say I challenge you, but no, I invite you to join the gym. You can find that under my newly updated website, Offerings Community Viv's Energy Gym. And I just moved the Gaia's Love Festivals under community also, but the pages are not cleaned up yet. So don't go there. Go somewhere else on my website, because that's next week's work. All right. Sending you so much love. Have a beautiful day, everybody. Thank you for tuning in to this vibration of pure love. I invite you to join me on Sunday mornings for an hour of meditation, visualization, and energy healing, where we realign our mind, body, spirit with Gaia and Source. You can learn more at mysouljourney.com. Let's take this message of Gaia's love out into all of our relationships and communities today. So much love from my heart to yours.